Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and you need to listen to this, or my advice right now, so you save yourself the time, the labor, and the money you're gonna waste in parts. If when you do your brake job on Mercedes, this is actually almost a brand new GOS. The person tried to do the brakes himself. He messed up by buying Chinese brake pads. These are not the brake pads. That's a second set that we installed. But he bought some Chinese brake pads on original Mercedes rotors, and he messed up by applying some crazy reddish, some kind of like a glue silicone. I don't know what it was. He contaminated the pistons. All the stuff was in these gunks and stuff. So it took me hours and hours to try to clean everything and try to get it back into a normal working order. So that's the first thing. Do not attempt to do this if you don't know what you're doing. So we opened it, so he opened it, so he messed up, obviously, and we had to open it. That was the second time when I opened it. But the point of the matter is, when you buy these brake parts for your Mercedes, you have only one option on the brake pads, and that's only OEM. I know you're gonna complain that they release a lot of brake dust, but that's the only way that I found out that it actually works through the years. This is not OEM. This is the second set right now, and it was installed because of someone else's wish. It wasn't my advice. My advice was to get the proper OEM Mercedes brake pads, but they did not listen to me. So we installed a Techstar brake pad set, which is supposed to be OEM or close to OEM. And I have seen Techstar pads sometimes coming with original parts from the dealer, yes, but for some reason the Techstar pads that you get on the aftermarket market are made in China, and they have nothing to do with the original ones. So the reason why we're opening this 3 times is because, as I guessed and I warned the customer and someone else who wasn't listening to me when they ordered the parts, that if we don't install the proper brake pads, since these original rotors, and they were already, one time they were sacrificed and threatened, by installing a Chinese brake pads, that something could happen to the rotor. I warned them, and now we installed the Techstar brake pads the second time after trying to fix the situation from the beginning, and a month later the rotors got warped. This is due to the fact that something may have happened because of the Chinese brake pads that were contaminated with the gunk, and they were kind of skipping, like the gunk was inside the brake pad, between the rotor and the brake pad, so they were skipping, hitting, and kind of sticking to the rotor. That may have contributed, but I believe the secondary problem was that they didn't listen, that they should have installed the OEM brake pads. Instead, this vehicle got installed Techstar brake pads, and now a month later the rotors are actually warped. So now there's going to be another situation, because the saga continues, where the customer does not want to replace the rotors because they're brand new. So someone else offered him to cut the rotors for him, which I don't believe in cutting rotors, and not on these performance drilled rotors, because the way the German systems work is, the brake pad works with the rotor, because both of them are soft, made by whatever materials that they use this self, like, consuming power, whatever you want to call it, where when they dig into each other. So when you have to replace brake pads on these cars, you replace the rotors together with the brake pads, because they work together, because the rotors are made of a very soft material, or I would say softer material. And yes, these are brand new rotors, but trying to cut them will actually sacrifice the strength of the rotor. So I'm going to take a guess that this is and I'm gonna be probably right because I have seen this before multiple times. These rotors are gonna be cut. They're gonna be installed with the same brake pads, and they're gonna warp again. Not too long after the case or after the installation, unless if we cut these, maybe we get lucky and we install original brake pads and not these Techstars. Maybe we'll get lucky, but since the people that are supposed to listen are not listening, they want to install everything back the same way. I'm going to take a very wild guess that this is going to not work actually, because I'm going to take a wild guess, but the same thing is going to happen. So this is the reason why I'm telling you. This is my advice when you replace your or when you buy your parts. Only buy original Mercedes OEM brake pads, those, and there's only two options on the rotors: either the original Mercedes OEM rotors, or you buy Zimmermann. Zimmermann are made in Germany, and they're either equal or higher quality than the OEM rotors. So we've tested these multiple times, and that's what has ended up happening so far. So we'll see what happens, and I'm gonna measure these to see how much they're gonna take off, and let's see how much they're gonna sacrifice from the material when they cut them. I'm sure you guys know that these rotors have a very limited material that you can cut, or there's a specification that you need to measure when you know where the minimum of this material is, meaning that that's the minimum of wear out, and that's when you have to replace these. So we're going to measure to see how much these rotors are going to get sacrificed when they get cut, and compare them with the specifications of minimum wear on these rotors. Okay, and this is micrometer, and it's going to measure in microns also. And here it is. And so what do we have? 36.4. Well, let me grab it. No, it's 36.004 maybe, or 5. Okay, 3605. So we're gonna measure when these come back and compare to the wear out allowed material wear or material specifications. Okay. Let's do it again just in case. It's actually 35.88. Okay, I kind of squeezed it now properly. Okay, 35.88. That's what we're gonna do. And $35.86. Okay, we're gonna settle for 35.86, and we're going to measure these when they come back and compare them to the specifications, to the maximum allowed. Okay, guys, we got the rotors back, and this is why I wanted to show you that you cannot cut these rotors, or you're not supposed to, resurface cutting, whatever. The minimum wear limit, according to the program that we have, is actually 2 millimeters. You see right here, the brand new rotor is 36 millimeters. Wear limit is 34. And we're gonna measure the rotors that were cut to tell you or show you that's why you cannot be cutting these. Because if you cut into this rotor, you're technically going to cut the actual material. So here we go. The actual wear, I'm trying to push this to the point where I can show you. it's not like this. It's not gonna work. This is the wear limit, or this is where they are right now. They were 36, we're at 35.5. That is half a millimeter, and we have 2 millimeters wear limit, so 25% of the rotor is gone. So technically on these usually last around 30,000 miles. So 7,000 miles right here, they're gone on the rotors. That's why you shouldn't be cutting these rotors. And you know, if you have a problem, then you need to just get new rotors. There's no other way to go around it. And I think this the same way this one was also doing, measuring the same thing. Okay, let me see. I just don't have. Okay, you see here, same thing. This one is actually down to 35.4 millimeters, so 25% is gone again. Just as I said, 7,000 miles are gone. You know, trying to cut these or resurface them because they warped. The main reason why they warped is because the wrong pads were installed the first time, then the wrong pads were installed the second time, and now, per my advice, they're supposed to install OEM brake pads, Mercedes, but they're not gonna do it. Apparently, the customer does not want to throw a second brake pad set away, so I'm gonna install the Techstar back, and I'm almost certain. Like I said, I'm going to take a wild guess, which is not going to be wild, of course, but it's going to be based on what I know and my experience through the years. These rotors are most likely going to get warped again, because maybe there's a problem with the Techstar brake pads, and I already explained this to the customer and to the mechanics, but they're not listening. I'm not the one working on this car, and they're not taking my advice, so that's fine. This is just for your reference to show you what's going on, and to understand that you cannot cut these resurface rotors on Mercedes. You need to get them brand new and install. And I would advise you, when you're getting front or rear, don't make the mistake of just getting one side, one axle. Just get front and rear all together. There's a reasoning behind it, and I've always ended up, I started doing this years ago, even though it sounds like just like a rip-off, but it's not, because we've had situations, I've seen multiple times when you replace one axle, then all of a sudden the rear axle, because it's already almost to the end of to the end of its life, all of a sudden it gets warped and it starts vibrating. And in that case, you have to get the car and then do the rears at this, at that time, which you could have done when you had the front already, in the car on the left, when you were, when the front axle was getting done. So again, that's my recommendation. You guys, it's your choice to do whatever you want, but I'm trying to save you the time and the money. And of course, time sometimes is valuable. For some people it's not, for some people it is. And of course the labor, you probably would not want this job or open this car 3-4 times for the same thing. To me, that's a very disgusting thing, and it pretty much shows that you just don't have enough brains to make the proper decisions. Okay, guys, thanks for watching again. Please like my videos and please subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.